And even to this day, there are hybrids walking in to the lives of, or at least the planet, that bringing good ways to take care of the people, but eventually they're gotten rid of because they're half alien and they're half humans. Now the present day hybrids are what we call the rainbow children. They have advanced knowledge. They can come. They're here right now. They've always been here. The previous groups were called way back in the 50s. They call them blue children, and eventually turned into the indigos. And then now they went into the crystal children. Those, in my opinion, based upon many, many studies, not only historical but scientific and theological studies, is that these are the ones that are, even though they're born of human mothers, they were put on this earth to lead us out, if you want to call it that, or be leaders, but they've always categorized them as not part of the human society. They have that special connection with the star people system. And I'm still trying to write these things up before I go on to the next world because if I wrote those back when I met them, nobody would believe me. But I did meet those type of people. And when I asked for their guidance of certain things, it doesn't really take very long for somebody to show up.
With technologies like neuro, machine learning, and artificial intelligence evolving at an ever-quickening pace, is it merely a matter of time before man cracks the ever-elusive nature of consciousness? Or will the answer come from elsewhere, via a vision or message from outer space?
We have gotten so much information from Tilcom over the last 8 years, it'll just drop your jaw. And when we had been talking to them a little bit more than a year and a half, one day we heard from Tilcom and he said, "We understand you have something called social. Would it be permitted for us to open an account?" And I sat back and went, okay, I don't see why not. As far as I know, there's nothing illegal about it. And so we started translating their exact words as much as we possibly could. Tilcom began sharing on Twitter along with the other 2 staff members he introduced us to 3 months prior to that, Drudy and Rahaz, or his nickname is Radar. So Drudy, Radar, and Tilcom all were sharing.
They have been with us from the beginning. They have been where we are. Everything goes through the same cycle of consciousness development and recognition of itself. They have been where we are. And they have been guardians of our process. This cycle of learning is coming to an end because humanity's consciousness is evolving. These beings can travel on light because they are the light.
They have the ability to pick a memory from your life experience and portray themselves as not, say, a Zeta body type, but maybe an old friend from high school, or an animal that you're not afraid of, like a 4-foot-tall bunny rabbit. So the screen memories are something that we deal with a lot, and now that we understand that part of the reason they do that is they don't want you to freak out.
So what we have now here on Earth is we have two things that are occurring simultaneously. We have natural cyclical changes of this Earth as it moves into its own density and becomes a fourth density environment. It will no longer be compatible for third density experience, which is what they say these human biotechnology bodies give us here. We have been through this cycle long enough, and it's time for the next stage. The beings that I am in contact with refer to themselves as the Council. They are guardians over this world because they were asked to be, and they are fulfilling their duty, allowing us our free will to explore and to learn without remembering who we are, so that we can return, recognize ourselves, and experience the full breadth of consciousness again and again and again.
There are friendly extraterrestrial nations visiting our world, and have been visiting our world for millennia, who are here to help us through the earth changes that we see beginning now.
They want us to grow. They want as many of us as possible to be ready for the next step, and to be ready to accept them without fear, without threat of violence, but hand in hand. This is a physical disclosure, and it is a consciousness disclosure. And what I mean by that is that these beings do not speak language. They do not use words like we do. Their mouths do not move, and they make sound and begin to speak to us. Everything they do is what's called conscious communication. I want to differentiate that from the misunderstanding that this is telepathy. This is not telepathy. I don't know what that is. I don't do that. I think that might be what I'm trying to talk about without not setting intentions, not being super clear. Because conscious communication is so clear. It comes with everything. It's like a download. Okay, we can all understand that. Like an image, you get an image in your mind, and it comes encrypted with all kinds of information that immediately just downloads into your brain. And it includes intention. So you know. And it includes emotion. I have experienced nothing but love, compassion, kindness, patience, sometimes humor. Very, very kind and gentle beings.